We're here in Monte Carlo for the Rendez-Vous de Septembre. Very Invest TV. I'm Richard Banks. And I'm joined now by Kirill Savrassov, who's the convener for the Insurance-Linked Security Education Program. Kirill, it's good to see you.
Very good to see you, Richard. Thank you for inviting for the interview.
So, Kirill, insurance and reinsurance have been bought more or less in the same way for hundreds of years. To what degree is that going to change?
Obviously, over the last few decades, we've got a very interesting newcomer, which is inflow of alternative capital, predominantly in the form of insurance-linked securities, which provides quite a lot of opportunities for the development of reinsurance activities, especially when it comes to developing markets and developing nations.
So tell us a little bit about that. You're obviously the convener for the Insurance-Linked Security Education Program that suggests that there's a need for education.
Yes, there is a very big need for education, and what we saw over the last few years is that as ILS became more or less standard complementary instrument for the catastrophe insurance, more and more organizations from the industry is trying to gain more information and trying to learn of how to utilize insurance-linked securities products in the best way. And that is to say that, interestingly enough, if you put into one room an investor, somebody from insurance or insurance, and somebody from the disaster risk management area or agency at the sovereign level, all three of them will be excited by the features which insurance-linked securities can provide. But interestingly enough, they will perceive it from three completely different angles. So talking about education in insurance-linked securities, and there is an education gap as well as protection gap. But talking about education gap in ILS, I would like to mark it as a multifaceted education gap, where you need not only to educate different types of stakeholders, but also to allow them to feel themselves in the shoes of their friends from a different area.
So when we're thinking about the different ways of buying insurance and on insurance style protections, obviously ILS is one aspect. The other aspect that seems to be getting a lot of credence at the moment is parametrics. Tell me how those operate together.
Yes, that is a very interesting situation, because basically parametric schemes and insurance-linked securities products, they do use at large kind of a same base, which is parametric solutions. And it is quite important because both parametric insurance schemes, especially when it comes to sovereign level, and insurance-linked securities products, for example, catastrophe bonds and sovereign catastrophe bonds based on a parametric instruments. In many circumstances, this is the only way for developing nations to have protection for their population. Because if you are based in a, let's say, earthquake-prone area, if you have a low, close to nothing insurance penetration, when it's just a fraction of a percent or 1%, it doesn't make really big difference of whether you have people insured or not insured, because macroeconomically it plays quite a low role. At the meantime, if there is a large event like earthquake, like flood, the whole of population will suffer, critical infrastructure will suffer. So there must be use of some products beyond classical insurance or insurance, although maybe using parametric approach, but sovereign level schemes providing nationwide coverage. Also, it is very important when it comes to trans-border infrastructural projects. Just two examples. One example is very well known, Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, where Central Asian countries very much rely on the development of this new Silk Road in order to boost their economies. And the most recent one, for example, after the deal between Armenia and Azerbaijan, there is how they call it Trump corridor, which will require quite a serious infrastructural investment. And in order to have it protected for such large-scale products, you need to use some products beyond classical insurance and reinsurance.
It's fascinating stuff. Kirill, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so much.
For AM Best TV, I'm Richard Banks.